morning, or should I say good evening? It's Monday night, but we got a crazy day tomorrow, and the work I prepared for myself for tomorrow, fun, is super easy. So, sorry, I had a little bit of a brain spasm there. So I decided to go ahead and film this tonight, so that I don't have to try to wait on a voiceover. It's not technical. Well, I don't do anything technical, but it's a repetition. It is cutting and gluing, and that's it. So, yes, I'm back in one binder. I have a little bit of a mess going on here, as per usual. We just scoot it to the side and keep on going. And I'm gonna get a t-shirt that says "Scoot it to the side and keep on going." I have quite a few things that I painted over the last few nights here. These are on sticker paper, so when I paint them, they're curling, but I think they'll be fine once they get the back off the vinyl, or whatever you want to call it. And these are probably going to be some of the things I use, because they're very, very minimal. There's not a whole lot of anything going on here, but it's enough color to keep me happy. I took look how clever. You are so lucky to watch me. I'm so clever. I took these, I put it in the computer. I went over it with red paint this is all on Procreate, with a red paintbrush, and then I wiped out the white lines, but I left a little bit, or the red lines, but I left a little bit on the sides because I wanted to be reminded that this is what these were. So, I have ceramics, I have busy city scenes, I have, what do you call it? Implanting oysters with not fake pearls, but flawed pearls that encourages them to grow other pearls on their own that are better. Our guides, and that's going to be today. So, there's nothing here outlandish. And, yes, I ordered some more binders. They're not here yet, but they're wider. Now, so I'm trying to keep this all in one binder, so I put everything back in here. It's a little bit too much currently, but it's going to stay in here. There's a few things I still want to do. But I'm not there yet. Okay, so I can put something on the back of this. So let's take that out. And I do have some, but see, these are, nope. Oh, I finally fixed this. No, not that one. That one. So, all right. So, yeah, we got a couple things going on here tomorrow that is just, like, not conducive to voiceover. So, see, I think if I put that down here, it'll be fine. Cross your fingers, because here we go. Yeah, this is a lot of painting on sticker paper, painting on anything that I can get my hands on, repainting some things, and even if I'm not repainting, I'm adding to what was there. Okay. Oh, I thought that was straight. Luckily, this sticker paper is not, I probably cut it crooked. That's probably what the deal is. Okay. So see, this is the back of the lacquer painting I did this morning that you saw yesterday. Oh, I also want to be, I have to be careful about watching the news tomorrow, which I definitely don't want to miss. And one of the people that is coming here in the morning is a huge Trumpster. So, yes, this is my house. Yes, I should be able to do what I want in my own house. But, I mean, it is divisive here, especially in South Carolina. So, I mean, there are definitely life things that I'm avoiding. I'm not going back to art for a while. I mean, it's let's not talk about it. Okay, so let's talk about ceramics. So I thought what I would do is, here's a ceramics picture. We did go to a small ceramics factory, which is already using molds, but if you can see this, these pictures are so tiny. She's sitting on one of the buckets turned upside down. She's also surfing on her phone currently, but she's pouring stuff into molds, pouring stuff out of molds, sanding the seams down. I mean, that's a factory worker right there. No OSHA, no anything like we have in the United States. No assembly line, no conveyor belts. Just give her a stool and some molds and she'll make some clay bowls. So I think I just want to do that. That is not as colorful, so I'm okay if it goes on white there. So now here's the sticker I made for Ceramics Factory. And I mean, my journaling is obviously super simple to fit on these little tags. And I didn't want to write a novel or an essay. I just want to have it ready to go. I'm ready to be over this project. Don't get me wrong. I love doing this, and I love, obviously, I'm here every day for 150,000 episodes, and now there's some gray shadows showing up from when I transferred the other image down to this, so I'm just cutting these down. Plus, I think this is more significant of the style of the sticker, is this shape. What is this? Hexagon, I think. 6, hexy. So, even though the red doesn't look the best, but the red is uniform throughout this whole thing. So we're just going to go with it. I could put red behind here somehow. Red construction paper. And even though the red is not perfect for this particular painting thing that I did, doodling is more like it. It's okay because it's Vietnam. There was tons of red, and the red is uniform. And even though, you know, I'm designing most of this on a whim here. Now see, this is good enough. And in my old scrapbooking days, the old-fashioned way, this is not unlike what I would have done. I had little things where I just like have one picture, but I want to document it. It reminds me of something. And this is what I did. For some reason, this go-around with these pockets and working outside the pockets, I'm making it, it's working for me. Don't worry, I'll never give up this size. I love this size, obviously. Okay, so then that can go down. And being on the heavy cardstock, I think I'm going to stick them under a book tonight and have them lay a little flatter. Okay, now let's see. I need, here's a couple pretty ones. Well, actually, I have this. This is gorgeous. This is just, whoa, what was that? Oh, our neighbors 2 doors down are doing some remodeling. Our poor neighbor next door, Frank, had a water pipe burst, and we only noticed it because it was leaking into the boathouse, going underneath the boathouse, but coming through this, or going under his house. We think it's on the side of his house, so going under his house, and it's all underground and coming out underneath the boathouse, but then it was coming through the floor of the boat. Anyhow, it's a mess. It's a mess. He said he's had to call a plumber. He tried to figure it out himself, but okay. Now see these. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I love this one. These two together look great. Okay. Let me get them the right size. And my size is coming from this. So let's use, although this is a little bit narrower. I think they're in the demolition stage. Okay. Now I'm going to put one of my little hole things. That's a technical term too. I might be out of them. I think there's one more. Oh, no, there's none. But I can look some more. Never fear. All right, hold. Tomorrow, I'm going to fuse these things. That'll be a quiet project. Does it bother me that there's 6 holes, 7 holes? No. Okay, I think that was 2. I'm trimming these down because they're a little bit longer. Out of the way, people. Okay, so now let's do just doing traveling tape, traveling theme tape through the whole thing. Or golden red. And not all of it needs to show. I just want to kind of have the white covered. Is my only goal. Cartier, I can't wait for you to get all your supplies in one spot with you again. You've done some moving around, lady. I'll tell you that. I think you're like me. You're part gypsy. Go anywhere. The thrill of the hunt. I think you've been to every continent, haven't you? Pretty close. I see. That's confusion right there. It does not bother me. The fact that it says Japan, okay. It's okay. It's not perfect, but it's okay. Tape. I've got a couple new washi tapes and stickers and things, but I can't show them to you till Halloween. Sorry. But I'm really itching to show them to you. Trust me. I don't know what made me think of this one idea, because it's a mergence. Is that a word? A merge of 2 topics for Halloween. And the one I had thought of a long time ago, maybe like 2 months ago. Like, oh yeah, that's gonna work. But then the other day I'm like, wonder if I can put these 2 topics together and it'll be really cool. Or a disaster, I'm not sure. Could go either way, hopefully it's good. All right, I am going to not pull that whole piece of tape off on that one side because it hangs over. And I don't want to pull it off till I get the other side ready to go. Yeah, this was a piece of paper that I think I did at the beach with watercolor and a bag. So it kind of like looked evaporated, and it left all these little just splatters. And then I went back in with yellow and other colors that were in there and kind of just exaggerated some of the shapes. And then there's gold on everything right now since I found my gold paint. That gold paint I think I bought in Asheville at Dick Blick. I cannot find, now the other thing I need to find, and that definitely could be at the beach, is that what they call Taylor's chalk. Terracotta looking color. That I loved. But I do think that's at the beach. And that was not cheap, so I hope I haven't lost it. It's not lost. Well, it could be lost in here, but not lost. And I'll find it one day when I least expect it. Or when I unpack stuff back down at the beach. Okay, this goes this way. No, it doesn't, but oh well. Okay, that worked. All right. Accidentally it worked, but it worked. Now, I think we're going to talk about the oyster place. This oyster factory was not oysters, shells, pearls. It was fascinating because they were artificially inseminating oysters with flawed pearls because that encourages them to make their own, and the chances of them making their own prettier were higher. Plus, they stuck antibiotics in them to keep them healthy. Then they put them back on this wall of wire that then they dunked back in the water. It was fascinating. It was very high tech. And this little girl sat there with a pair of the most like surgical tweezers. And she would open the shell enough, a live oyster, to stick the pearl in there and stick some antibiotics in it with a dropper, all under like a huge magnifying glass. And then the shell would close back up, and she'd put them back in the thing, in the netting that went back in the water. And it was like a wall of wire / net, and that way the oysters stick to it, which I have seen that before in oyster beds in Point Reyes outside of San Francisco. We went to school with a family that had an oyster farm up at Point Reyes. And the kids went to school with us, but like weekends and summers, they were out working on the oyster farm. And it's very famous now. Anthony Bourdain went there. Oh, I miss Anthony Bourdain. Why am I attracted to bad boys? Don't tell my husband. Or is he a bad boy? He was a bad boy at one time. Well, I'll tell you, I take that back. He was accused of being a bad boy. He was not really. Okay. This was another mass production of tourism, because they exit you through the gift shop where you bought pearls, which I did buy too, which I still need to get chains for those. They're very Art Deco, and both of them, and we're done on, well, one is not. One is the shell inside, the inside of the shell, and it's just one of those beautiful silver or circular pendants, not unlike the ones I've been drawing. There's another one, and room for another one, and then the other one was an Art Deco pendant, small, like the size of my thumbnail, but it's silver. And I'm not a big, huge jewelry wearer, if you couldn't tell. I like what I like, and when I like it, I wear it till it wears out or I lose it. I had a beautiful pair of silver earrings that I got with my mom on Mother's Day when I took her to New York probably 20 years ago. And I think I lost one at the beach. Sometimes the beach is a black hole. Okay, this goes with, okay, we're talking about traffic now. And I just wrote a little bit of a blurb here that said, Never could I drive in Vietnam. No specific lanes, mostly scooters. Merging is always problematic, and walking was scary enough, is what I wrote on here. And that is the truth. It seems like the merging was up to the person in the back. If you were coming around a corner, they never slowed down. They never looked. They just kept going. And if you're coming up on a corner and somebody's coming around the corner, the person coming from behind needs to slow down to let the person in, because that person that's coming around the corner does not look. It was wild. And at no lanes. The lanes are painted on the street, but they're just there for decoration, I think, because they surely don't use them. Now, this was Hanoi. I don't know what... The countryside was obviously much better, but even the little town like Sapa was a mishmash of horns everywhere. And all right, this is my copy. This is my first one. Now, I think I'm going to do the huge market that we went to on the last day, which I went in and was there for about 5 minutes and walked right back out. It was loud, chaotic, crowded, teeny tiny aisles. I mean, the aisles literally were like that wide. Like, oops. And things that came from... Okay, my camera cut off. That was convenient. So I finished a page without you, and then I started talking about the whole thing. So I got everything in here. And where did we leave off? All right, the lacquer, the ceramics factory, the pearls, and then we left off on traffic. So I got these all put in. It's way too full, but I have another binder coming that's thicker. I'm going to shrink this down on Procreate and put that somewhere back here somehow. And then I'll do my table of contents once I'm all done. But I do have a few more things left. Mainly I was checking off my list. Okay, they're still going. I don't know what happened. I have a tiny blurb of history I want to do. I want to do the thing about our guides, which I have that ready. I just haven't done it. And then I said our hotel and our plane ride home. I think that's it. Oh. Here's the market I did. I did put the market on here, which was all open here, and all these were houses. Normally, these are houses, and these are the storefronts. But this was a city block, and it was all open, and it was just a huge mass market. An open market. But I said, teeny tiny aisles, loud shouting, massive piles of junk, people shoving you out of the way, not my idea of a fun time. So I stood outside and literally watched traffic and had a lot more fun doing that. I saw a lady riding on a bike selling some kind of fruit, an old lady. I saw a guy that stopped by an SUV with black windows, rolled down the windows. Somebody met him out there and he bought some fruit. Not sure how, I guess phones. All right, so let me put on here Hotel Sapa plane ride home and the Parasite, which is pretty much gone. It took much longer to go away because I finished off one round of antibiotics and it did not completely go away. But I think with a ton of cranberry juice, it's gone. Oh, and I need to finish these title pages. Just when you think you're getting closer and closer. Oh. Here it is. So if I stop in mid-sentence, and table of contents. On the last clip, it's because these guys are done. I just have to assemble them. And then I need to do these right here. Okay, that's not bad. These kind of can go in here. And then this will go in my Hobonichi. Kind of like this will be on one page and then I'll have it folded strategically so it'll all be inside the boundaries. So, hopefully it didn't cut off. I don't know why it cut off. So we're getting closer. I found some more doors, but I can't put them all in there. But I might include them on a blank page. Somewhere in here I have a Sapa hotel picture because I had 3 and I only found 2. And there's a bunch of pictures up here. Up here it is. Okay. And I need to put some of these. Maybe that with the Sapa hotel will remind me to put some of these clusters in that I made. Oh, and I still have to put this one in. That's Hulong Bay. Ay, ay, ay. But it needs a little bit more work. Here's another pretty one. Oh, this is part of that other page that I did for the market. This. And I have those other circles that I painted. I don't know how I can fit it all in here. But I'm loving it. Loving it. Okay. Thanks for watching again. Bye.